In this movie, we're going to talk about building the background. So at this point, we've put in lots of entourage. We have our people, we have our trees, but we don't want to keep doing that over and over again. That'll make our model heavy. So we're going to take advantage of a technique learned in the movies, particularly called matte painting. And in that case, they would often build the background scenes. You've seen it in the original Star Wars and other movies um, where they would have a painting of a background that the actors would either be in front of, or sometimes the glass, if it was painted on glass, that would be in front of the actors too, and between the camera and the actors. But anyway, that's a history lesson. For here, we just need a computer lesson on how to build such a background. So what I'm going to do is create a component of a line which is basically perpendicular to my point of view. And you can see that positioned so far behind the site, there's gaps in the view. So what I'd like to do is move this gigantic movie screen forward. Oops, I probably need to deselect it and select the whole thing instead of just the top part there. All right, good. So I'm going to pull it into the site, and it's really a curtain right behind the middle ground where all my actors are. And this is a much better scenario. Why did I build this screen in the first place? I need something to snap my image that I'm going to bring in, import. And this image was first modified in GIMP. I've dropped the opacity on it, and I did some painting on it as well. So what was once a photograph now looks more like my final rendering might be, and it's lighter than the middle ground, giving us that sense of perspective because of atmosphere that we've talked about. So I'm positioning it relative to the perspective view. I'm going to check that out, make sure, and wow, those trees are big. So I've got a scale problem. It's not a big problem, but I need to fix it now while it's easy to fix. So what I'm going to do is select that image, grab the scale corner, and pull it down so that it's more in line with the scale of the site that I've got in mind. So the image has some limitations in terms of its size, so I'm just going to duplicate it by importing it again. And then I'm going to just align it again with the site and on top of the old image. Here we go. And make some final manipulations. I don't have to be ultra careful with this because my view that I'm looking at is quite limited. But there you see it. It's the background, and it might not look like much now, but it's very useful when we get to the final rendering. So I'm going to export this 2D graphic and get prepared for doing my final rendering on the board. So we'll name it the name of this video, and I'll see you next time on the iPad.